my channel. My name is Perseverance Maremeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self Love. If you're joining for the first time, welcome to the family of healing, self love, and motivation. And if you are returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing me. All right? What was there? Oh, there's a lot going on there, but it's fine. It's life. Guys, I've been seeing now, trending number one on Twitter, Uthando Nesthembu. Hey, I don't entirely follow it per se, but I try my level best to reserve my 2 cents when it comes to Uthando Nesthembu, because yeah, Mara, maybe it's because I've never been in a Nesthembu situation, so I don't know what's what. And also, I've been watching LaConco. Yo, I love that woman. Oh, LaConco, I love her. I just love her. She just has this beautiful aura, man. She's got this addictive personality that if you, yeah, I think if you can listen to her, you just love her, you know. And also, we had a recent episode on the Safe Space Chats podcast where we're speaking to a lady who came out of a Stembu situation. So I'm just going to take all of those and put them in one category. We're just gonna put them together because they are more or less the same thing. If somebody actually knows what is happening, who has more detail about what's happening on Uthando Nesthembu, please guys join and fill me in so that I have an idea of what's going on. Because I think even if I see Uthando Nesthembu trending, to me, it's always I always have an idea of why they're trending. So my opinion on Uthando Nesthembu is always thank you so much, Riri Matebula, saying your lip gloss. I'm using this one. Is it Essence? Yeah, Essence. Yeah, but anyway, I always have a general opinion when it comes to Uthando Nesthembu, until which one should I start with, guys? Should I start with okay? Uthando Nesthembu will talk about it last to me, so that if somebody wants to come in and tell us exactly what is going on, the lip gloss is from Clicks, Essence lip gloss, yes, from Clicks. Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying that Uthando Nesthembu, I think we'll talk about it last because I see the wives are trending individually, so I'm not so sure who's trending for what on Uthando Nesthembu. Ne? Hi, welcome, Messi Puse from Botswana. Please, guys, tell us where you're joining in from. I appreciate every single one of you, my community members. But anyway, yeah, before we get to Uthando Nesthembu, let's talk about LaConco. I'm gonna be as I'm gonna try to explain to those who are not from South who I'm talking about. LaConco is Nonkanyiso Conco. She's one of Zuma's. I don't know whether she's an ex-wife or she's still a wife. For those who don't know, in South Africa we had a president by the name of Jacob Zuma. We all know Jay-Z, and he's in a polygamous marriage. He's got multiple wives. So the internet broke some years back when he added a new wife into the whole thing, you know, which was a young girl. I think that lady, if I'm not mistaken, I think she's younger than me. I think she's younger than me. And she was added as a new wife of the president. And I think there's a lot of things that I actually learned when I listened to her story, ne? Or former fiance. Oh, okay, she's a former fiance of the president. Okay, so she was also part of the polygamy, so when she narrated a story, like I said, I don't know whether I said it on YouTube or I said it only on TikTok before I went live on YouTube also, that the one thing I love about that lady, LaConco, she's got a very addictive personality, and she's a beautiful soul, like she's a beautiful spirit. So even when she's sharing and narrating her story, she's 34 years old. You see, I am literally 3 years older than her. When she was sharing her story, you will not finish her story, because everywhere, even when you bump into her clips and all that stuff, you will listen, you will watch, because she's just that lovely. So for the first time, she's opened a YouTube channel where she's calling it Timeline with La C or something like that, where she's just talking about her journey and all that stuff. It's a beautiful story, when you hear from the beginning of how she got to meet with the president of South Africa, because in South Africa, especially the Zulu tribe. I think also other tribes, but yeah, it's more fashionable and more common in Zulu tribes where they do their virginity testing. It's like it's like a sport, sort of, like it's like a game, it's like an activity where from time to time, I think once a month or something like that, girls gather together and they're checked if they're still virgins, just so that they can be encouraged, to abstain. And for me, guys, I always say that this whole thing of girls abstaining and being having these virginity testing things done, for me, I feel like it's a good practice. It's a very nice practice. The problem that I have with this practice is that these girls are keeping their virginity for old men who are tied to 100 million souls. Like, I will never understand the concept of why can't a virgin girl abstain for a virgin boy. Why must she? Why do these virgin girls end up, okay, not always, but most of the times, why do they majority of the times end up getting married to a man who's got 5 wives? She's wife number 6. Old man, someone who's old enough to be a father. So for me, I feel like I have a problem with the whole practice, because it's more like it's encouraging women to keep themselves for old men. It's like you're preserving yourself for an old man. It's no longer about you abstaining, you trying to, keep yourself safe and healthy and whatnot. Rural Ndu is saying that it's a practice that is now used for the benefit of men. Yeah, I agree with you, but when you look at it from all the way back, when Rural Ndu, it seems like this is just a continuation of how it's always been like. It seems like the virginity has always been kept to benefit men, because for me, like I said, that it would make sense when girls are kept virgins for virgin boys, where they're going to teach each other about sex and all that stuff, but not for them to be shipped away because it's a culture, it's a tradition, it's a pride. Because I always say this, guys, you can only become a virgin once. That's why I saw a comment on Instagram where somebody saying that, I was married, I was a virgin, but after that man married me, took my virginity, he showed me flames. The reason for that, guys, is you cannot fix broken people. If somebody is so broken and they've got what we call um a small, I'm sorry to say this now, I don't know any other word to describe this, but there's something called small dick syndrome. Small dick syndrome is when somebody is not confident at all, even in their sexuality, to a point where instead of them dealing with that syndrome, them feeling like they're enough. And remember, small dick syndrome doesn't say that somebody actually has a small dick. It just says that they have a syndrome where they're not confident in what they have, so much that they would always want to have virgins, because they want people that don't have experience, because they don't want to be challenged because of their own insecurities. You understand what I mean? So that's why I'm saying that this thing is like it encourages this thing of small dick syndrome, in a sense, Yauri. When you're a virgin and they take your virginity away, because you can only be a virgin until the day your virginity is taken away from you. So that means that when we go back to that lady who was trending, talking about women having value and all that stuff, that means the day your virginity is gone, it's back to square one. The party is over, the cake has been eaten. So you are just like all these other girls. You understand what I mean? Then your man must go marry another virgin. Do you understand that this man has got a small dick syndrome? It is here. It's not even down there, it's here. And you can't fix it. Because if you don't feel like sexual intercourse is a participation where both people are supposed to be enjoying, but rather it's a thing that as a woman you're not supposed to enjoy, you're supposed to be feeling pain, you're supposed to be submitting, you're supposed to be serving, you're supposed to be giving yourself like a plate of food to someone when you are just there. Bazalwane, no. Then it says you're an object, you're not a human being. That's why every single time, every single chance they get, these people have got this small dick syndrome. They'll always want to find somebody else that they can shove their thing down that person, and they're not even enjoying, they're not participating, they don't even know what to touch, what to do. These people don't even know themselves, you get? So, but anyway, that's just my opinion about this whole virginity practice. But I feel like the idea is a good idea. I wish uthi usis Nongi, it's not godly at all. It's actually satanic, man. Okay, that's what actually I wanted to say. Okay, I didn't want to say satanic, but I wanted to say that when you look at why it is being done now, it no longer says You are respecting your body, you are respecting yourself. It's like you're a piece of meat, you are preserving yourself for someone to come and take you. So there's nothing godly about that, you know. It's sick, actually. It's sick. But anyway, with all of that virginity testing thing and practice redancing that actually happens in the Zululand and all that stuff, you get to be picked, you know, by a man who's old and they have these wives, you know, because I don't know whether, so maybe those who have been through the process or who know more, especially from the kingdom of the Zulu land, they will tell us, sorry, um, what happens in the head of the children or the girls who are at the reed dance, ne? Which makes it okay for them to be in a polygamous marriage, you know? Because for me, I feel like this whole thing of virginity testing and dancing and all that stuff, it kind of goes hand in hand with you being okay with polygamy, you know? Because people who don't attend such things, maybe it's because they've been eating the cake. They're not even programmed to be okay. Is there part of the program during this read dance where women are prepared to say it's okay for you to be in a polygamous marriage? Because the virgin girls don't seem to have a problem with marrying people who are not virgins. That's what I'm saying, Uri. For me, I feel like a virgin girl must get a virgin boy. If I'm not a virgin, if you as a guy you're not a virgin, where are you trying to get virginity from me? I don't owe you virginity as long as you don't have your own virginity intact. In fact, I feel like it wouldn't be fair for me to be with somebody who's a virgin. Imagine the whole me. I'm a mother of 2 children. I've been married. I've been having sexual intercourse. And then now I'm like, I want a virgin guy. Yeah. I want a guy who's pure, who's never been tinted. Imagine. I would be ashamed of myself because me, I've been doing. But no, for some people, no. It's not a thing to be ashamed of. Yes, me, I've been doing. But I want somebody who has not been doing. Njani? Like, how does it make sense? Like, make it make sense. Anyway, back to LaConco, ne? So she shared a story of how she met the president of South Africa. He was still a president during that time. And she was a first-year student at Varsity College somewhere in Durban. And they dated with the president, and the president's a gentleman. And when they were together, she was like, you know, she would even forget that this is a president because he would always accommodate her and all that stuff. The way she narrates her story, ula scene, she's such a good storyteller in a sense that I feel like even if she was telling a story about a random guy, it would still be like a beautiful story to listen to because she's such a good storyteller. She's got a lovely personality. But what kept disturbing me was the fact that she's talking about Zuma. This guy is old, guys. Like, besides him being the president, he's old. Okay, not that there's anything wrong with... Guys, my father just went on pension. That man is old. Guys, how do I say this so that it doesn't sound wrong? It doesn't sound like I'm age-shaming these guys. But where do you have the older? A old grandpa? Too? Like, guys, like, you know what, ne? My dad just went on pension, ne? And I'm trying to imagine a girl my age saying Isogalam to my father. I'm trying to imagine a girl my age or even younger than me saying, my bae is so handsome and so romantic. It's my father. That old man. Hi, guys. Oh, you guys, my father. Guys, imagine my age mate saying my father is a hot. Oh. So that's what's wrong with the whole thing. Maybe the problem is my imagination, you know. Because, Mina, guys, I'm one person that when I'm sitting with my father, ne, and his brothers, ne, like, they're old. Like, I have to respect them. Like, you understand? When I talk to them, that's me when I talk to my father. And then you mean to tell me there's a girl my age who says, man, it's like, hey, babe, hey, Eric. Huh? My father. Hi, Bazalwani. In a speed, you are very brave. You are bravery. Bravery is braver. But anyway, she shared a story of how, you know, she met the president. The president gave her 3,000 when they first met. and all that stuff. Do you ride him normally or I take breaks? Yo, guys, yo, like, hey. And also, that's the thing about old people. Imagine someone like as old as the president, former president. Ne? Mina, I have to date someone as old as the former president. And I have to do all this Kama Sutra. It's going to be a problem. I can't do Kama Sutra with the former president. And the reason why I can't do Kama Sutra with the former president is because I don't think he has that energy. Okay, maybe he does have that energy. And also because they're boosters these days. Guys, I think the kids are sleeping. Ne? We are talking adult language. Okay, cool. I think they are boosters. This old man these days, they get these boosters and whatever. But even if they do get the boosters, you mean to tell me they know all those styles from Kama Sutra? They can't know all the styles from Kama Sutra, guys. They can't. So I'm assuming Hori, being with an old man, even if maybe he can last, like he even drank peso and whatever, and then he's lasting like he's trying. You can hear it's a tractor, but the tractor is going. They're experienced. But also, even with that experience, is the experience of doing what, me? Is it the experience of Kama Sutra now? Or is it the experience of just back and forth missionary why? You understand? So if a man who is as old as the former president is coming for someone like me, if I was a Chichi, Virgin V, 16V, ne? If I was a mocktail, ne? At least he can get away with just climbing me and climbing off because I don't know styles. I don't have experience. Which then makes sense why these old men want to marry virgins, because they don't want to marry someone who's going to want them to do Kama Sutra. But then if the same guy was to marry someone like me, I was married, I was practicing Kama Sutra. I even have proof that I was practicing Kama Sutra because I have got children. But like, obviously children are proof that you've been doing. You mean to tell me that man can keep up with me? They can't. Excuse me, a 65-year-old can't keep up with me because me, I want those Kama Sutras. Yes, when I'm So then this lady is saying she doesn't know any other way of relationshiping. She's a virgin. The only way, first experience is with the president, who is a senior citizen. Hi, my sister, you are going to do missionary only. You can't even do a woman on top because who taught you? Because you are a virgin, you are mocktail. There's a lot of problems when a rural do. You're a mocktail, you can't even do women on top. Who taught you women on top? Amanyala. You can't even do you can't. Because who taught you all of those things? Little Laura, Kama Sutra mo. No, don't dream about Kama Sutra, guys. Actually, I said, Uri, I can't sleep. Let's have this conversation. The children are sleeping, it's at night. Okay. But I'm trying to keep it clean. So from the president being romantic to them dating for a good 5 years, which for me, this is the conversations that I always have with my person, ne? That because we're still dating under the carpet because of me being a controversial content creator and everything, and him being simple person, simple life and everything. The day we have to step out there, it has to be the day that we are both prepared. We have exercised scheme emotional, because files are gonna come out. Okay, now on my side, I don't have a controversial. I can count the people that I've done Kama Sutra with. You understand? I'm not worried about my past coming to haunt me. Yeah, I think I remember only this one girl who confronted me about a boyfriend once, but that's fine. What about my brother on the other side? Because he's not used to living a normal life, a private life, So are we going to have exercised emotionally enough now? Because if you watch that thing, LaConco, she was saying that after the people started finding out, after the public now started talking about the relationship and there was a buzz after so many years, it affected them. Politics are there, this is there and that. Imagine someone as strong and resilient as the president, our former president, Jay-Z, a public attention affected his relationship with one of his wives or fiancés. This person has got experience in being married. He's been married for years before this one was born. This person is strong enough to withhold or to handle controversy. He's been the most controversial president that I could think of. Even him, with all his gymming of being able to handle the public attention affected their relationship. Their relationship collapsed. Because remember, like I'm saying, this lady is saying, she doesn't have any other experience of being with anybody else. So she dated the president and she doesn't know, maybe, let's say the president only does one style because he's a pension. She's only done one style. It's okay. She doesn't have to worry because she doesn't do other styles because nobody taught her. She doesn't know. She never practiced like some of us. But after having that private relationship, after Lobola has been paid, still the public attention managed to come between them. Then the president now becomes a deadbeat, an entire president. With all this experience, guys, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, but I'm about to climb the 40th floor. I'm about to get married for the second time. And the president couldn't with this one girl. Because remember, guys, when you watch that thing, LaConco, she's saying polygamy is a system. Let's not forget we're still talking about polygamy. It's a system. She calls it a system. You are coming into a system. And it goes back to what Rural Ndu was saying earlier on. As it Rural Ndu, I don't know whether it's Rural Ndu or who was saying that it's satanic, this thing. It's demonic. Yeah, LaConco, she was saying that it's not about you. Polygamy is not about you. It's about the vision of the man, Yes, when we're in relationships, we are submitting under. If you're a man, the medulla is working, and you are a Christian and you believe in these things. It's not everybody. Not everybody has to believe in it. We believe that we are submitting under the leadership of your man, So meaning that, in as much as I'm going to be chasing my dreams as perseverance, but there's this guy who has a vision, who has a dream, that whatever it is that he's doing, I must support him in a way. Our things must align. And when I look at him and his aspirations, it should be able to say, okay, this man is up to something. That's what I always say. I just want a man who's always up to something, not someone who is sitting here following my lead. Don't want that. Let's rather argue about who we are going to, whose project we are going to start with first, whose project we are going to prioritize, because both of us are busy with something. Not that Mina must be the one who's always thinking. You get what I mean? And now, okay, I see people are requesting, guys, please request to join in as a guest instead of as a co-host, so that we don't close the space for other people who would want to come in. So that's what LaConco was saying, that polygamy is a system, and it's not about you as a woman. You go in there understanding that you are here to expand the family of this man. The polygamous man is the one who's the vision bearer, is the one that's collecting all of you to say, wife number 1, wife number 2, wife number 3, wife number 4. And then, when you are coming into a system, it goes back to the fact that you were married a virgin. So you are a thing. You are a thing when you are still abstaining, when you are still doing the reed dance and you are still doing the virginity testing, you are a thing because you are waiting to be picked. Then they pick you. Now you are a thing that's moving into a home where there are 5 wives, you're going to be wife number 6. Now you are a thing that's giving birth to children because you must procreate for this man. You literally, there is nothing good that comes out of this practice for you if you want to be a Deborah of your lifetime. You do know Deborah from the Bible? She was a judge in Israel. She was the one who was saying, we are going today. We are fighting today. So if you are coming here with your Deborah tendencies, you can join polygamy. Polygamy, you must just exist. You must just exist. I thank the Lord wangikhipha kulombedo nami ngacisha ngangena. Oh, she's saying she also almost got into this whole polygamy thing, But thank God she didn't do it. You get what I mean? So So basically, it means, or if you are accepting to be in a polygamous marriage, you must accept, or you don't exist. When you are like a part of a furniture, you are a power bank where they put you. Next time when they come to fetch you, they must find you there. You must not move, because if the man says this is how I want the direction of my polygamous marriage to go, that's where you go. You are there for that. And I see them trying their level best. Hey, no, Mina, my wives, I don't control them. They can do their own dreams, visions. Mara, basically, at the end of the day, when this man comes and says, listen, this system which is there, I'm about to mess it up all over again. Now I'm bringing another wife. I'm about to mess it up again. I'm bringing another something. You guys, because you're not supposed to have emotion, you're not supposed to be feelings. You're supposed to be like pets, because they breeded you, they took you when you're still a virgin, they do you, you give birth to a baby, they put you here, they say, this is your house, you must breed for me. When I sit here, is that really what God has called you to do, just so that you can be happy? You are a straw. Yeah, you are like a straw. You came here, that. But anyway, if you are choosing to be that, you can be that. Hi, Marianne. Okay, I think my volume is low. Hello, my darling. Are you well? Okay, Marianne, I think Marianne is having a bit of a problem with the network. While we are still trying to get her to talk to us, watching from Cape Town, Kim Immortality. Sis Nonki?
Hi, Pav. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, my love?
I'm good. I'm with tonight.
What? Hey, when are you owe me? Don't you owe me? You owe me, ne?
I do. I do.
Oh.
I do.
You just
I
changed
owe
your
you
name,
my
so you thought I
WhatsApp
wouldn't
account.
know. You thought I wouldn't know. You just changed your name. It's fine. I'll get you on WhatsApp. It's okay.
Yeah, I owe you.
Me and you will fight. It's okay. We'll fight off camera. For now, let's talk. Let's talk polygamy.
Yeah, now let's talk. Ish, what's talking, ne? No, sorry for you. I know you have international family members. So the thing is, these kids, the Zulu ladies, I think they get to admire what is represented to them. Like if you look at social media around nowadays, the young girls are doing it. The young girls are having their own apartments. The young girls are living a good life. They are influencing stability. Like every girl child desires that, because that is what is put in front of them as life. So if you are groomed at a different place where being someone's wife is it's a goal, it becomes what you want to achieve, you preserve yourself for that, because especially if you're going to have a name like a Zuma name, you desire that, because they are telling you it comes with financial freedom, it comes with respect, it comes with you being able to be called, like you get a lot of respect from being a virgin. So girls understand that to be something that they carry, it's their glory. So I don't blame them, because it's what they are raised to be. It's like being in a boys' environment where you are told, when you didn't go to the mountain, so you are not man enough. At least boys are able to stand up and say, I don't need that. But there's boys who feel so horrible if you tell them about not going to the mountain. Because that is, for them, that's a sense of manhood.
Yeah.
So they get value from being someone else's wife. I mean, like, as a parents, you remain a virgin forever. I mean, because even though this person took your virginity, you didn't feel anything. Like, you are just, like, as far as I'm concerned, if this is the only person you're ever gonna sleep with, one how it's next.
You don't know Kama
you are a
Sutra, my
virgin forever.
sister. You don't know Kama Sutra. Yes, Jesus.
Like you had, when we say toes cross, when you will never know, because we know that it doesn't get you there.
Yo, my sister, this is so sad.
You have bitterness in your heart. You can't really know.
This is so. You know what what saddens me is that we are very picky when it comes to information that we want to if we could force people and shove information down people's throats, we would do that. But looking at what is happening right now, information is out there. There's absolutely nothing you can search and you will not find an answer about, just on Sunday I was interviewing somebody who's got a bad experience of how it was like to be in a polygamous marriage, because she was saying that one of the things that she wants people to learn is that majority of these polygamous marriages are fake marriages. Only the first wife is married because they're married in community of property. The rest of the wives, it's fake. That's why when you look at, for example, Uthando Nesthembu, there's the first wife who is glorified. We don't know the details of who's married for real and who's not married for real. Nah, I don't know. But all you can tell is that, all you can see is that it doesn't always just work out the way it does. The way that we want to make it to work out. And also, if you look at the story that was shared last week, it really shows Hori, not everything that glitters is gold. And the problem is, while somebody is busy sharing a story of awareness of polygamy is not always as glorified as you're making it out to be, there's nothing there. If you listen to LaConco, you will understand. And I mean, I do appreciate people like LaConco for sharing. I literally feel like she has been sent to this world. She's the messiah of all the virgin girls in the Zululand, so that they can actually understand, or not all that glitters is gold, because you've been a virgin all your life. And listen, LaConco is a full package. I love that woman. She's a full package in terms of her personality, beauty, everything. She's like full package. On top of her being a full package like that, she goes and marries into a prominent family, and then now all of that didn't work out. The system didn't work out for her. She's now dealing with a deadbeat daddy of a former president. Her problems are the same problems of us normal people. You understand? Like, there's no special problems which are waiting for you because when you were married into a prominent family, when you were a virgin and what. You are still suffering the same suffering that some of us are suffering. And for her to actually share something like that, I appreciate her for that. But my concern is, even with people like her sharing her own experience, because in as much as she's not going to say it straightforward, Ori, listen, this is an awareness. I'm winning all the virgin girls that are looking up to me, or the virgin girls who will like me, to say it doesn't always glitter on the other side. But you can hear, or between those lines of her just sharing her love story, she's actually warning virgin girls who are busy doing reed dances. You get what I mean? But how do we get these girls to actually understand that it's not glittering the way that we've made them to think it glitters, or they've been made to believe?
Even when we talk about the amount of divorce rate that we have, people still want to get married. So it shows that it doesn't matter the type of information you get out there, people will still choose what they are. If you are told this is the way and this is how it goes, that's what you're going to want. Doesn't matter what information you get that is new, your goal remains your goal.
Like, look at
it's very,
when you look at what is happening now. I don't know, do you watch Uthandonesthembu? Sis Nonki?
I don't like that show at all, because I feel like,
you feel like it's promoting what we are fighting for and advocating for on a daily basis, for girls to be liberated.
Exactly. I feel like it's pushing patriarchy more than anything. Like, you can see that these women have a life centered around a man, and it's not even cute, but everybody is actually
glorifying
making it to be something that is admirable. But you can't like, I've never even watched one episode. The things I see from that show, it's on TikTok.
Yeah, same here. So I literally, when I started the live, I said that maybe those who watch the show can come and feel us. No, it can't. It goes back to what I said earlier on, that LaConco said that you need to understand that when you get into polygamy, it's not about you. It's about the man. It's about his vision. It's about the fact that he wants polygamy, so he's going to bring all of you here. So you are not here for yourself. Self, you must forget about self. It's like accepting Christ when you are getting married into his temple. It's not about you. It's not about your personal whatever aspirations. It's about the fact that you are here to support the vision of this man who wants to expand a family and have 30 children. That's your job. You are just here as a tool to make babies and expand a family. When he comes here, he eats pap and chakalaka. He goes to the next house, he eats muhodu and stampa. He goes, like, literally, you guys, it goes back to what you were saying. It's just promoting patriarchy. It's like we are 10 steps forward, 20 steps backwards.
And you know what? I would be walking to the shops and I'll be going around with my partner. And I would see other women looking at him like the feeling is not right. Like I'm just like, you don't want to awaken the bee in me. So imagine having to live in the same household, knowing that you are sharing one person. I get uncomfortable just by other women looking at my partner. So I can't comprehend having to accept that we are actually sharing him and I have to be okay with it. Like this idea of women who become
It's like you must be
STEM needs to be
conditioned.
studied. We need to understand their level of psychology because
Yeah, exactly.
it's a superpower that I don't have, and we need to study it.
It's like you have to be conditioned to they must make you believe, or when we cut you here, what's coming out is not blood, it's juice. Wagwa. This is juice that's coming out of here, even though it's blood that's supposed to be coming out, because they're making you, it's like they're suppressing the human, like the human in you must be suppressed, because that person cannot exist the same time as this polygamy. For the polygamy to succeed, the human in you must be suppressed, so that this thing must become a success, because there's no way. We are human beings, we've got feelings, we've got all these things, but for some reason this man, the way the man must be a spoiled brat, he must have feelings, he must have all these wives, he must love them, he must be jealous of them if the other one is wearing something which is revealing you can't do that, you can't do this. But you when you cut here, it's juice that's coming out, it's not blood, it's oros. Guys, it's so toxic in so many ways. For me Risi, my darling,
Hi everyone.
you and Nongine, you have similar voices, by the way.
Oh wow. Hi everyone. Hope you guys are well.
We good.
I've got a different thought process, right?
Yeah,
With regards to
polygamy.
patriarchy.
Oh, patriarchy.
No, to polygamy, sorry.
Okay.
To polygamy.
Okay.
I think that you cannot save people that don't want to be saved.
Ooh.
And you cannot out-campaign people that have chosen to live their lives, right?
Okay.
I don't want to make this like a feminism discourse or anything like that, but I'm a believer that if we are saying that women have to be liberated and women have to be free and be able to make their own decisions, then we also have to be willing to live with the decisions that they make that we think are messed up.
Oh, not
right?
but not that are messed up.
That we think, because remember, what is messed up to you could not be messed up to me.
My sister, okay, wait, on a point of order, comrade. Okay. I want to raise on this point.
Yes.
When it comes to something which is wrong, if it's wrong, it's wrong. If killing is wrong and you're supposed to go to jail for it, we can't say because some of us think killing is wrong, and when there's nothing, you don't see anything wrong with killing, then you should be allowed to do that. We can't say that it's wrong even if you choose to do it.
I wouldn't use killing as the example because killing is illegal, right? And polygamy is not. Polygamy raises a moral discourse, not
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean? It's a moral discourse, and we can actually say that morals are mostly built from cultural backgrounds.
Okay, The reason why, let's say, wait, before you proceed, sorry, ne? Let's say killing was not illegal, but it was wrong. Because remember, at some point, before all these things that you guys do, you legal people do, ne? There were certain things that, good, let me give this example. Statutory rape. There was a time where children were being shipped away, they're being married away, and that was okay because even though it's wrong, but it was not illegal until somebody had to come and say, listen, this one is not the one. Now, once you do this from here going forward, it's now illegal. Does it mean that during the time when it was being done and it was not a criminal offense, was it right during that time?
Obviously not, right?
Okay.
But I think that when it pertains to what I choose to do with my body that does not cause any other person harm but myself, right? I should be allowed to make that own decision. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that, right? There's a lot of women who don't believe in polygamy, granted, for their own personal reasons. But I also think that us thinking that the ladies who go into it need to be saved or they don't know what they're doing and is an incorrect stance to take. Because I believe the same way that we are saying that there's a lot of information out there, they're very much aware of what they're putting themselves into.
Okay.
Right? So it is their choice that they are making to say that I want to get into polygamy. This is the type of relationship that I want for myself.
Okay.
Personally, I do not believe in polygamy, but I believe that the women and men who choose to be involved in that relationship knows the pros and cons and all the bad that that comes with it and the good that comes with it. As a person, you choose your own poison, and I think that's the poison that they've chosen for themselves.
That's
right?
if you are aware that what you are choosing is poison, right?
Yes, yes, that's if you're aware. But here's another thing. You were speaking about the virginity testing and all of that, and when I was listening to LaConco, right? I think that that's a decision that they take and they do it with pride, right? I do not really know the intricacies of what the older women do when with these ladies or the type of conversations that they have with them, and maybe that could be, and maybe that we could problematize that instead of saying boys and girls must abstain and actually get married to one another when they're pure, it's like something that is made for girls. That one I totally agree with you. I do feel that it makes it seem like boy children can be sexually promiscuous, where and they don't lose any value in doing that. They don't lose any value in having kids. They don't lose any value in having different I don't like the word baby mama, mothers of their children, right? But should a woman do that, right, it's then seen as wrong. So it does have a lot of patriarchal connotations to it. But the reality is that it then boils down to choice.
Okay.
If we are saying, and we if we are the believers that everyone should have the freedom to decide what they want to do for themselves, then to a certain extent we must also accustom ourselves to the conclusion that some decisions that people make, we may not agree with them, but we just have to accept that that's what they've chosen with.
Okay, you are muted, my dog.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. So provided it's their choice. So that's what I think about it. Like I often see these discourses and I'm like, I see all this, but those girls are choosing it for themselves. And quite frankly, when someone is choosing something for themselves, until they say no, there really isn't much that we can do. But I do like the conversation of maybe having a conversation of what are the goods, what are the bads, so that even the younger girls that get into it know exactly what they're getting into. But with the discourse that has been happening, I do think they know what they're getting into.
Okay, let me give you, this is a true story now of a very close friend of mine who was married, and the relationship that she was in was a very abusive relationship, né? But it was not abusive physically. It was abusive in every way possible except physically. It was abusive sexually, it was abusive emotionally, it was abusive financially, right? And this is the person that has grown up in a home where the parents have been through similar abuse, and she was taught that mosadi o tshwara thipa ka bohaleng. As a woman, you must hold the knife by the sharp edge, right? So with that information that she had, and everything that she was experiencing in the marriage, every time when she goes to the parents or just to share, with that community, they would always tell her, "Well, this is it's a norm. This is what women have to go through," right? Now, the reason why I'm sharing this is because I want us to talk about saving people who don't want to be saved, or saving people who are very much aware of what they're doing. Ne? Now, after all of that, she started underperforming at work, and after she started underperforming at work, it went so bad to a point where she had to be admitted in a psychiatric ward, right? Only then, like literally, when you get to be in a psychiatric ward, it's a matter of life and death, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And then only then she gets to find out that what she's been through is not called a norm, it's actually abuse. So the reason why I'm bringing this is because I want us to maybe see how then do we make people aware that what they're going through in their what they've normalized is actually abuse. Because if we're talking about women who are choosing to be in polygamous marriages because that's what they've seen growing up, that's what they've seen in their communities, and we're saying, Ori, we can't save people who have made choices to be in those situations, then that means that we are saying that even people who don't have the information that we have, they can die. And then for me, I feel like I've failed. Honestly, I feel like I've failed in life if I'm not going to save you, because I'm thinking that for as long as you've agreed to it, you know exactly what you've agreed to. Until you detail it, it's just unfortunate because people like your LaConco, she's giving us this full information only after the marriage has come to an end. If this was somebody that was telling us, or this is what is happening from the beginning, before she gets any far, we would be having bits and pieces of an understanding of where she's at. But it's just unfortunate that with a lot of them, in as much as you are saying, Uri, and I remember when this person started trending with the president, she seemed like somebody who knew exactly what she was doing. And in as much as we can decorate it, all of us, we can decorate and say, Hore, with our kids that we have. I can say that with my beautiful kids that I have. No, me and my ex, our assignment on this world was just for us to bring these two beautiful babies, and then we go our separate ways. But the truth of the matter is, red flags were there and I ignored them and I got hurt. So it's not a matter of I had to endure with my eyes wide open. I didn't know better. I was still I had not healed. I didn't know that I had to heal from my childhood traumas for me to choose better. So then I was saying, Hore, does it not feel like, for me, like I want my sister, me and you, me and you, we get along. I want us to agree, or are we not abandoning each other as women if we get to a point where we say, while you can see somebody's about to fall off a cliff, as long as their eyes are wide open, as long as they see what they're doing, they must do it.
All right. So here's what I'm trying to bring to your attention, right? I'm not saying you cannot raise awareness, right? Because I do think that is extremely important, because you could find that what you share today could literally change someone else's mind, right?
Yeah.
But now I'm speaking about women who, quite frankly, they are quite aware of the disadvantages of polygamy. They're aware of the advantages of polygamy. Then they decide that is their choice. I just do not want us to have a blanket approach to assume that every woman that is in polygamy does not know what they're doing, or they are being abused.
Yeah.
Because you could find that they're actually old enough, consenting adults who are getting into it. I think that what we can do is to say that, whilst there's other successful polygamous relationships I don't know of, I don't believe in polygamy, so I wouldn't know any.
I'm still waiting for that one positive one. Let's hope one day we'll have somebody who's in a polygamous marriage which is successful, who will come here and share with us. Ne? Then then I'll be convinced. But for now, no, you may proceed.
Yeah. There is also the bad side, so that you assess. Yes, no. Is it Nongi?
The one who has got a voice similar to yours. You guys have got the same voice. Nongi?
Yes, the thing is.
Yes.
No, I was saying the thing is, for other women, it's like you finding out that your husband is cheating, and you choose to stay. To some other women, it'd be like, I would never stay. But 90% of women will tell you that I'm never going to leave my house because a man cheats, because it rains everywhere. And that is the mindset that almost every woman has. They're like, all the men cheat, so why should I leave my marriage while I know that I'm still going to walk into Jack, and Jack is still going to cheat on me? So I believe that if we're going to have a conversation of polygamous marriage, we should understand the circumstance that these women are put under. It's not like they have... it's not like they don't know about other choices. It's just that they are convinced that this is the better choice because there's nothing better out there. You would rather be married to a one man, because I think most mentality is, I would rather have dignity of having one husband other than having to go around sleeping with different men to them. And you might find out that they are convinced that when you are married to this man, there is security. It's a better glory for you. So those things that they are deemed to be the pros, when they weigh them to the cons, they're like, no, I would rather stay in a polygamous marriage. At least I know where he is. At least I know I would have my turn with him. Maybe they don't prioritize what we prioritize.
Yeah.
As well. So I hear what you're saying, advocate. Oh, she left.
No, maybe she's. I've invited her again. Yeah, I hope she comes back and she engages some more. But yeah, for me, I kind of feel like what you are sharing, I hear you. And I heard her also. But it goes back to that thing, Yahori. Are we being conditioned at a young age? Is that what is happening? Are we not going back to this patriarchal thing that we've been trying to fight for the longest time? We have one with my beloved Soli. Is it Soli? Let's hear a man's point of view. Let's hear a man's point. I'm hoping that we could have. I was hoping that we could have somebody who actually is a child of a polygamous relationship. Because for me, I feel like going back to that issue, how polygamy only benefits the man of the relationship. The wives, they're just there to fulfill the mandate of just decorate their blom pots. What are the children? And how is this whole setup affecting them? Even though we are saying already, it's not always wrong. There are people who are in good polygamous marriages. We are still waiting for them to come and testify. But what about the children also? Let me unmute. Okay, my brother is not, his mic is not working. Maybe we can move on to somebody else. Velemina. We have a Velemina. We are talking polygamy today, Lali Lalos. We're talking polygamy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, my darling.
Okay, how are you?
Good, how are you, my love?
Yeah. I'm good, and I'm very happy you brought this up. And I can say I concur with the president. Who was that lady? I didn't becoming president.
Advocate,
something like that. Yeah. But I think this is how basically it starts how certain cultural groups are brought up. Meaning that it seems as if they are conditioned in a way a woman should be brought up, like going for this virginity testing and. But the gist here, or I think what is the basic here is that a man is the only person who gets what he wants. Because if you can see on this show, Uthandonesthembu, I watch the show, you can see that these women are not happy. They are not happy. The reason I'm saying this is because everyone has their own experiences, the good and the bad, but most of the time they are not happy. But when you look at Maqele is the first wife, ne? I think Maqele has enjoyed the pain when the women were getting married, all according to their positions. Now, every time when a new woman is coming, to her is joyous, but to the other woman is a pain. They are going through the same pain that she went through when Musa married other wives. You see now, I'm saying, like you are saying, we need to make an awareness of the woman to say, are you aware of what you are putting yourself into, or you are intending to put yourself into? The society back then conditioned women in a certain way that for you to be considered a woman, you have to be married, have a family, have children. But during those years, there were limited number of prominent men. So every woman was wishing that my child could be married by so and so.
Yeah.
Then, hence they encouraged Isithembu. if we can just take it to say, not every woman will be married, and a marriage does not define a woman, then I think that will be the correct point of departure.
Where we get to a point where
Because
women who are not married should not be shamed. Women who are getting divorced should not be shamed. Women who can't bear children cannot be shamed. I think we owe ourselves this thing of creating a safe space for ourselves as women so much that we accept each other in our different conditions. Because I think all of this started from when we are not accepting each other, when we are succumbing to these societal standards that will pressurize you into doing something just because you want to fit in. Once we normalize our differences and how God has created us in different, areas and different aspects, and also our different journeys, if we are accommodative of each other even in our differences, I think it will be easier for one to say, no man, because I can see there's a community of women, the other one is okay with not being married, even though yes, I wanted to get married, but I couldn't, because I couldn't find the right guy. Therefore it's better, it's okay even if I'm not having that person, instead of us now having to go, all seven of us go get married to one person because we are busy shaming each other. When now you didn't get married. So that means what we owe it upon ourselves as women first to create that safe space for ourselves to say, listen, even if other people come and say you are not worthy, you are of no value, you are expired, you are this, you are that, if you have already shut your ears and you have decided, or this is what I'm going to believe about myself, then we'll make it easy for our kids not to succumb, even for other women not to settle. Because literally they are objects. Like, there's no way you can convince me you are not an object when you're in a polygamous marriage.
No way. No, I think that is where we should start. And acceptance, accept that if you are not married, it does not mean you are not woman enough. If we can check, most households are standing, and there are woman-based households. Most of them, 90% of the households which are up and running, they are built by women, or they are supported by women.
Yeah.
So now, if we can just, as women, have this pride of saying, I can do it by myself, then I think we'll have, or we'll move to the right direction. To be honest, and we women are made with this thing of emotional attachment. We are emotionally attached to people. Just imagine 7 women attached to one man. There will be jealousy between the women.
You know the funny thing about this whole thing is that we will be told what we are. As women, you are emotional beings. That's why you can't cheat. But the very same emotions that you have as a woman, you are not supposed to feel pain when you are sharing your husband with other people. Those emotions are only applicable when you want to cheat. You are emotional.
Yeah.
Come on.
Good evening.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you, my darling?
I'm okay, thanks. I requested because you said you wanted a point of view from a child who grew up in a polygamous home.
Yes.
Yes. So my father has 4 wives. My mother is number 3. Amongst these 4 wives, he has 20 children, where I am number 10.
Okay.
So imagine you having to see your father once a week, every month. So basically, you see your father 4 times a month, because now he has to go to the other wives. Not only is he going to the other wives, but he's also having girlfriends as well.
Sure.
You know? And his reason for that, I'm Zulu, by the way. And this tradition, they take it to a point to go Tibeti. It's they doing it, but they doing it for the ancestors, whereby there was a grandfather who was supposed to get married and didn't get married. Now he has to get married. So kuba nomntana wethonga, kuba nomakoti wethonga. Yabo, especially if the father is a sangoma or a nyanga, they do that a lot in justifying they justify their lust through something that is so pure, and then they what's the word? They make it filthy. Yes, they make it filthy because now they justify this in a way that spirits and whatnot, just to justify their lust. And also now, it's just a matter of greediness, because he had said to my mother she was the last one. You know?
I think that's what they say to all of them. From the second one, they are like, you are the last one. The third one, you are the last one. The fourth one, you are the last one.
Yeah. He had said to my mother, you are the last one. I'm not gonna have another one. Then suddenly, there's another one. To the point that my mom decided to leave him and be like, I will not tolerate such, because what the other wives used to do was to use witchcraft as well. My mom had 2 miscarriages, and every time he came, because we had our own home. Every time he came, because they knew that he was coming here, we would just see flies before he came. Then we knew he was coming. Do you understand the level of trauma that we had growing up, understanding that, oh, father's coming, there are the flies. As if we are children of Beelzebub.
That's true.
You know? So he did that, and immediately when my mom said, no, I do not want this, I will buy my own house, I will do my own things, it's fine, you can go. He left. He left, did not take care of us, did not take care of even all the kids that he had in amongst my siblings. He did not take care of us. It's like we do not have a father, whereas he's alive and existing. So even we are 30 minutes away from him, but you'll see him in town. You'll see the elder brothers and the other siblings in town, and they will be like, no, he's okay. And now this has now been 5 years doing this. So as a child growing up in such a household, my mom saw the traumas that we were going through because of now also my father's side not defending us, but condoning his behaviors, condoning the fact that no, he has to take other wives, whereas the uncles, his brothers, do not have multiple wives. They only have one. And they are in good, comfortable, warm households. Even when we go visit, you'll find the house very warm. And there is no bickering amongst women. But also, the Bible talks about Abraham. Was it Abraham having to
be the father of the nation?
The father of Israel, by
many nations.
Jacob.
Oh.
The Jacob, that woman who couldn't have kids.
Oh.
And told
yes.
the father of Ishmael. Yes, the wife suggested to Haggai
to go get
yes, to go get a hair from Haggai. And that story as well caused a separation amongst women, because the way they describe it, they did not fully explain how it came to be. Yes, they explaining a certain point, but also they did not explain the situation that Sarah had,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And also this person was, you know, a foreigner. You allowing now a foreign person to come help you in this thing of getting kids, and in your marriage they condoning polygamy, but they doing it in a way where it was a person who helped a per- and also don't see to like while you are there, to imagine the fact that Sarah had to watch and like be there and hold her guy's hand during the act so that she can get pregnant.
Sure.
And she ended up being the one who told Abraham that you need to tell her to go, chase her away. So even though she did something out of a need, it brewed hatred within her. So you're very right in that. I just wanted to add on that.
Yeah.
Continue. Yes, you are true. But you know, it is causing such a, what is this? Hey, my English is running away. But it is causing such a separation amongst us as women. As well, we hold each other in a certain pedestal that is not even visible or even realistic as women, because I myself, I am a lesbian. I'm attracted to women, but I see women amongst our community. We judge each other as well. Even when you introduce yourself to other lesbians, they tell you, you are not a lesbian enough. And you're like, what is that? You know? So we have to, I was actually, you spoke about groups. Perseverance, you spoke about groups. I'm actually starting a group in my community where I am trying and I'm inviting single parents, single women, single mothers to come and share their experiences and what they're going through. I will be hosting a sip and paint in June. That will be the first meeting that we will be having. And also, this meeting for me will not only be about sharing your experiences as a single parent, but also we have to heal the inner child in us as women. We were told many things. I remember growing up, I was told how to please a man, but I was never told how to please myself in not sexually, but how to cook, to clean, to wash.
All of that, when you
sure
are doing
that
it, you have to be doing it for a
properly,
man.
the sheets are increased. And my granny used to tell me, you will never get married, you are too lazy. A girl, you know, the thing of a girl is supposed to do this, a girl is supposed to do that, a girl is supposed to do that. When we moved out from my granny's house, my mom stopped that nonsense, and she was like, there is no girl, there is no boy in this household. The house must be clean. The yard must be clean. Everything must be clean. Yeah, I will not be paying for people, whereas there's a house full of kids and you're telling us boys don't wash, boys don't do this. They just sit around. Not gonna happen. So we grew up now in a versatile house after we moved away from our grandmother. But we really, really need to, come together as women, all types of women, because now even the transgenders, we must include them, so that they can share now a perspective. Yes, they are now women, but they have an experience of a man, which is an advantage to us to understand how the mind of a man actually works, because not only they might change their body physically, but mentally, they are still men, some of them. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was just a bit of my 2 cents
Sure.
in this
Thank you,
topic.
sis. Thank you so much
Interesting
for sharing.
topic, though.
Thank you so much, sister. Thank you so much for sharing your. I really appreciate you sharing. I have followed you there because I would love to be part of the sip and paint and whatnot. Please do send an invitation. Um, I think the question that I was going to ask you, a follow-up question that I was going to have for you was, would you ever consider polygamy yourself? Would you advise somebody to be in a polygamous marriage yourself? But based on what you've already shared, I think I got my answer to say you wouldn't suggest something like that, because I think you have an understanding of what it is, from a child point of view, that really sums up even somebody who wants to get into a polygamous marriage. They can still learn a lot from a child who's coming out of a polygamous marriage to say, no, 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 you don't go that route. But like Advocate Risi has said, she's already left, that to a certain degree, we can't force people to not do certain things. If they've made up their minds and they're adults, there's nothing we can do about it, but doesn't mean that we shouldn't raise an awareness. So thank you so much, Donsi. Is there anybody else who has not spoken? We have to wrap it up.
Millicent hasn't spoken.
And Soli also, but because Soli, it seems like there's a problem with the network there. I was actually hoping that maybe he would share, because having some a man's point of view to just sum it up would have been great. Millicent also, I can't even unmute and mute her, she's just here. Otherwise, if the two people can't communicate, there's one person that no, she's already left. There was one person who had actually requested to join, but they've cancelled. But it's fine. I think that then leads us to the end of our episode for today, guys. Remember, actually, we are supposed to be live tomorrow. I still feel like we're going to address this in detail, Mara, using other angles also, because now that we know how it's like from a child who comes out of a polygamous relationship, and we know based on the episode here, the other podcast, from someone who came out of a polygamous marriage. Yeah, maybe tomorrow when we do it again, we'll hear people who have got something nice to say about it, or wanna, what exactly did they do, what did it do for them, and how did it benefit them, because at the end of the day, even in relationships, they're supposed to be benefiting. Everything is supposed to be benefiting us in general. And if you're going to be looking at a polygamous marriage and you see that the kids don't benefit anything, just brokenness, just traumas, the wife, you don't benefit anything, just this brokenness because you have to share this man who's not even man enough. Because for me, honestly speaking, then no offense whatsoever, but I feel like a man who is in a polygamous marriage already, that person for me is not so strong, because you're making reckless decisions. You can't even be a man of your word. You can't even take care of all these children that you have made. You can't even be honest. You can't be a man of noble character, yet you have procreated so much. There's a screw which is loose. I have no respect for somebody like that. If you could make 20 children and remember them one by one, and know how much school fees you've been paying for every single one of them, and know them by name, and know where they are, what they're doing, and then I would have respect for polygamy, and I would have respect for you as a polygamous man that you are. But if you're gonna be a polygamous man, you will take no responsibility of nothing whatsoever. Let's just leave it. With that being said, thank you so much, guys, for joining in. For those who are only joining in now, late, you must catch it on the other app. You catch it on the red app. See you guys tomorrow at 7. Yes, ma'am.
Can you feel the pain in the Dondi's words?
Yeah.
Is in pain, meaning that this polygamy not only affects the women.
Yeah.
It mostly affects
the children. Yes. Yeah.
And if we as women, before we can take that decision of being in polygamous marriage, we can consider what our children will went through or will go through on the decision taken by us. Then we need to reconsider.
Yeah, I hear you.
We need to reconsider, because I associated on this a pain with that one of Sneh, Usaduku's child. That you can see that she has so much trauma. She is not in a very good space.
Yeah.
Something is not right with her, meaning that it mostly affected the children.
Yeah. Sure.
That is why my
Just
mother
imagine
left.
she's.
Don't you?
That is why my mother left. She chose us.
Because she could see it was
over
affecting
a
you
man.
guys. Yeah.
She chose us over a man. And she said, I'd rather stay with my kids and fend for my kids than allow them to suffer. And because of my decision to marry a man that I thought I loved or he loved me.
Yeah.
That is why my mom left.
Sure.
Because the last time we went to the...
I'm starting to realize... I'm starting to realize the importance of daughter-father relationship, because we had a different upbringing in our generation. Our fathers were like, we had strict fathers. Like, when you look at your father, you look at somebody with authority and everything. But now I look at my daughter, she's like her father's best friend. Like, if we were to put me and her dad here, she would prefer him over me. So it's making me realize something I never saw with me, that girls need their father. And if a girl is not fathered properly, there is a missing thing in a girl. Because, like, guys, it's so deep and it's so spiritual that I'm only realizing it with my daughter. Like, there was a time her father was not working. This man had nothing. But if my daughter said, I want my dad here, like, she didn't care whether he came with fruits or what. She wanted her father. So there is a need of, especially daughters, that needs their father within them. And I think because I'm not speaking badly about Zulu Nation. I think because they've built a place where girls don't even get to experience fathers, because obviously they are already in their polygamous relationship. You already seen your father once a month. You already you're missing a father in your life. So obviously marrying an older man, it's going to be ideal because you don't have a father as well.
Sure. Yeah.
It doesn't
It's a
matter
vicious
whether
cycle.
you grew up with having him, but the fact that he already was divided before you grew up. You don't have a father, and therefore marrying another man, it's going to make sense because you don't have that space filled.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that your girl child is not healed. Your girl child...
Yes. And that's how daddy issues come about. That's how daddy issues come about.
Imagine you're coming out of you're coming out of a home where it's a polygamous home, where this man was so ambitious that he's gonna have many children with many women, and these children, all of them, they are broken because they only have an inch of a piece of this man, because you are one man at the end of the day. There's 24 hours in a day at the end of the day, and you cannot be in all these places at once, meaning that when we are encouraging you to continue bringing in broken, you are breaking our community. You are the problem, because we have all these broken people in our community because you decided to be selfish enough to say, I'm going to get 5 wives and I'm not going to be available because I'm one person 24 hours in a day. Therefore, let the community be broken going further.
It's not about the well-being of the children.
It's very selfish.
It's not about the well-being of the children. It's only about the well-being of the man. Not the kid, not the wife, nobody else. Just the man. Which is why when the lady was talking about choice, I think it's very dangerous to say that, oh, that's a choice they've made. Polygamy can never not be abusive. It is abusive through and through.
Yeah.
So when we're going to say, no, women choose it, no woman in her right mind is going to choose abuse. This is not about the children. It's not about the well-being of the children. It's not about the well-being of the wives. It's solely about the well-being of the men, and everybody else is collateral damage. Everybody else is collateral damage. So we have to be... The only way we can win this is if we do inner work on us as women, and we teach our girls that it's okay to be single, it's okay to not be married, it's okay
it's okay to be you. You don't have to be tied to anybody else.
Yeah.
There's a lot of coercion going on because we are told that you're nothing. Even now, there's a lady who said, no, back in the day, you were nothing without a man. Even now, ladies, even now, you are still told that if you're not married, there's something wrong with you. So we have women like Hepisi Melani saying, powerful as she is, saying no, she doesn't mind polygamy because our society says unless you're married, unless you are tethered to
There's
a
something
man,
that's
unless you're
missing in
tied to a man,
you.
you're nothing. So even powerful women are willing, to downgrade themselves and go and be a wife number 3, wife number 4, just to fit in.
Yo.
It's a problem.
But now I wanted to ask, is it maybe they want a sense of belonging to a certain family? Or just to say, because I have a husband?
Yeah, it really shows we have not done the work. You can be rich and powerful and you've collected all this money, but if you've not done the inner work for you to get to a point where you love yourself enough, you understand yourself enough, you are content with yourself. Because remember when you do all this work where you are working hard as a businesswoman, but you've not done the work on yourself, you gather all these riches, but at the end of the day it feels like it's not enough because still the child in you still need to heal that child. All the childhood issues that you have, you need to deal with them. So when you've not dealt with them, no matter how many millions you have in the bank account, at the end of the day you're still going to have to go fetch that child, or you're going to have to settle because you feel incomplete no matter how much money you have.
So then we still have a long way to go.
Yeah, so basically what it says is that you being successful and rich is not a solution to healing your inner child. We all have to do the work. That's why we talk therapy, bazalwane. Therapy.
But I think somehow, somewhere, I can say we don't do the self introspection to the latter, or putting our children first in everything that we do. Because let me give you this typical example of when parents get divorced. Like I know Perseverance, you are a divorcee like myself. I believe that when couple decide to divorce, the first thing that comes to mind is your children.
Yes.
I'd rather raise my children in a better environment other than raising them in this environment. You see, now you divorce it, taking into consideration your kids first. Now I was married at the age of 23. By the age of 27, I got divorced. And I'm a single parent. And now I'm turning 53. Still single. Because I made a choice and then to say, my kids will come first. You see, now if we as women, especially those who we have children, we put our kids first, it will cut out a lot of this unnecessary heartache, frustration, feeling neglected. Because if you can see our children are brought up in an era where they are so fragile, they are very fragile. Now, if we can put them first in everything that we do, I think it will really make a difference in the society. Because if I listen to Dondine, I become more emotional, very emotional to say we as parents are putting our kids in a very difficult situation. Forgetting that we will die. We are going to die and leave them behind. You see.
Can I put something on the table? Isn't the root of all these problems we have about women, isn't it caused by the fact that they put their kids first? Because the fact that you are saying you divorced for your kids, another woman might say, I stayed for my kids. So decisions that women are making and putting kids and men, can I just finish? When you put your husband and your kids before yourself, it's a chaos on itself, because we have mothers who end up bitter because they chose kids over the lives that they should have, the dreams that they believe they should have had. and they choose marriage over their own goals and dreams. So I think maybe let's talk about who do we really have to to put first? Do we put ourselves first and then consider the kids, or do we put the kids first and then put ourselves aside? Because I don't want to have a mother who ends up being, because this now kids have a term, they say toxic mothers. They say you are a toxic mom because
You
right
put
now,
the kids first.
every time you tell them, I did this for my kids, I did this for my kids, and I don't think anybody wants to be at a space where they're like, yo, my mom can't even drive her own car because she chose to do things for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you are wrong. I just
I hear you.
understand that.
Yes.
Isn't it better to have women who are saying, I'm putting myself first?
Yes, I think ultimately that is the sequence which I left out. You first, your kids, then whoever. Because it starts with you. You check the life you are living. Do I really have to go through this yourself? That you are number one. Is it really worth it for my kids to be raised in this kind of environment? The kids are number two. I think maybe I should have just stated it in that order.
I think it's one of those things that you are always at the tip of your tongue to say, put your kids first, put your kids first. But I agree with what Nongi is saying, that when we've had so many discussions about this in the past. I don't even mind us doing it all over again, to say sometimes the reason why we have our boom situation, we have this, I forgot the term, but this thing of mothers being attached to their children, mothers feeling like their children are owing them, and black tax and this and that, is because they put their lives aside and focus on the children. But Mina, my belief is that when you put yourself first, those who love you will always benefit from you putting yourself first. Meaning that automatically, when you put yourself first, you also put your kids first, because your kids will always benefit from the happy version of you, the healed version of you, the healthy version of you. You get what I mean?
Yeah. True, that is.
Yeah. Ladies, we have to love you. We have to wrap it up now. We have to wrap it up. I know it's flowing nicely, but hey, tomorrow we are saying hashtag Gwamlungu.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you so much, ladies, for joining in. We shall see each other tomorrow, 7 p.m. We shall see what are we going to be addressing tomorrow. But we never run out of topics. We are always addressing one topic at a time, and we're trying to see if we can,
I'm just happy LaConco has just let the cat out of the bag.
Nah.
We didn't need to. We already knew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the flip side. I love you. God bless you. Good night.
Bye.
All right. Sharp.
Bye.
Bye.